Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I'm here to review the Malayalam film Sudhi Vathmeekam, starring Jayasurya. After I saw Nyan Merikuti, starring Jayasurya, immediately everyone said, well, if you enjoyed that film, you really need to see this film, and the title gives it away. Jayasurya plays a stutterer. And it's the same team also, so it's the same director who co-wrote the script. Ranjith Sankar co-wrote the script and directed the film just as he did in Nyan Merikuti. And it's also a very similar, in a way, feel-good movie about someone overcoming obstacles and triumphing. In Hollywood, we've had a couple of movies where the leads were a stutterer. So we had A Fish Called Wanda. That starred Michael Palin, who his own father was a stutterer, severe stutterer. So he based his character on his father's speech impediment. And in that film, you see a stutterer have a romantic interest and also get revenge against someone who has tormented them. And actually, the tormentor, Kevin Kline, was the one that won the Oscar for that film. One of the few ever for comedy films. But anyway, the famous one that everyone thinks of course, is A King's Speech, starring Colin Firth, who plays the King of England, who really did in real life have a speech impediment, stuttering, that was severe. And so it shows him going to a speech therapist in secret because radio is a new thing, and he has to give a speech that's going to be televised. And so the speech therapist helps him work through it. I mean, because talk about a high pressure situation to have a speech broadcast around the world, and you have this, severe speech impediment. Whereas Nyan Merikuti was just one segment of the adult life, and we didn't really get all the backstory. Here with Sudhi, played by Jayasurya, we have a flashback that goes all the way back to when he's a young child and to when his school days. So we really get this overarching. We see that he has loving parents. His speech impediment is not because his parents are cruel to him. They're always, especially his father, is very supportive of him and always encouraging him to look in a positive way is something he can overcome, and all of his other wonderful qualities. So it's not set up that, it's because of his cruel home life that this happened. No, it's just something that is part of him. But of course he's tormented at school, but he does have a close group of friends. And then we see him, he's working in a school, and one of his best friends is played by Aju Varghese, who I've seen in wonderful supporting roles in several films, including, of course, Nyan Merikuti. He plays the radio jockey that works with Jayasurya's character of Merikuti. What the main drama is, he's tormented at work, where he works at a private school, and he has difficulties. We see has two romantic interests. So if there's two, obviously something goes wrong with the first one, and then we have the story of how he overcomes all of that and the second romantic part. I had never seen Surya all in one film. He had so many different looks. He was clean shaven when he was quite young. He has a mustache at one point, and then the full beard. We see him at the beginning, and then we're having flashbacks as he's telling the story to the actor Mukesh. So that was kind of an interesting framing device, and it kind of made the film longer to set all of that up. But the point of it is, at the end, the real heroes are cinema heroes, that if you look around, there are real heroes among us who have overcome so many obstacles, and that's who we should really admire. Okay, I mean, to me, it was heartwarming. Of course, Mukesh was great. I don't know if it was completely needed to have that overarching framing device, because it did add quite a bit of time, especially at the beginning, setting it all up. We probably could have just started telling Sudhi's story instead of having a flashback. Start from the beginning, and because no matter what, we didn't know, we kind of knew it was going to have a happy ending, but we didn't know how we were going to get there, right? So we have occasional, during this flashbacks, occasional interjection of the modern day where he's telling the story to Mukesh. But there is a funny little moment at the end where you can see that the wheels are turning in Mukesh's head, like, this would make a good movie. Like he's started trying the stutter out, like, oh yeah, this would make a good movie. The main thing for me that was amazing, it's not, there's melodrama, there's pathos, there's comedy, you have everything in this film. There's some montage, lovely songs, but the main thing about it is, again, Jayasurya's amazing acting, because he's in pretty much every single scene, and he's the one that sells this movie because he's so good at telling us the story and making us so sympathetic to all that his character goes through, all the hardship. And when he finally does triumph at the end, it's such a feel-good moment. It's such a feel-good film. So if that's what you're looking for, if you need to escape all this darkness around us, all this bad news, and you want to just see a good story, a feel-good story, I'd urge you to see this film. Unfortunately, it is not readily available on streaming services right now. I heartily thank the person who made a way for me to be able to see this film, because it's not easy for me in the United States to find this film. But it's one, if you do live in India and you have a way to seek out this film, I would heartily encourage you to do so, because it's just such a feel-good movie. So thank you to the person and all the people who said, if you like Jayasurya's acting, you really need to see this film. I realized in looking him up and trying to figure out, this film was from 2015. And again, this whole team, including Aju Varghese and the director and everybody, got back together again for the 2018 Nyan Merikuti. I realized that I had seen him in the film. I'd seen Jayasurya in Fukri, and I know he's done so many other films, notably the film Iyobenti Pushtakam, which is the Book of Job, where he co-stars with Fahad Faisal. I know, it's on my watch list. I know I need to see that one. But somebody has been requesting almost every single video that I finally watched this one, so I did this one first. I really admire Jayasurya as an actor. It was quite a subtle performance in doing the stutter, because it goes, depending on how emotional he is or how nervous he is about something, how strong the stutter is, it really varies. And it was just, he was so good in Nyan Merikuti. He's such a versatile actor, because when you look at his filmography, he's been in so many films where he's played just such a variety of parts. But this was such a heartwarming film. Anyway, if you enjoyed this film review, please do like and share this video. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews. And if you hit the bell, then you'll get a notification whenever I have a new trailer reaction or film review.